Well, here we are, guys, giving a shout out to the preppersite and let's see here, the preppersite and YT Preppers YT channel, or I guess that's YouTube he means. I am a subscriber. This is a video response to that, and he wanted to see what we have in our library. Got a lot of books, a lot of books. This isn't even a tenth of what we got, but just going to go over some of the better ones here. Chinese Natural Cures. It is the traditional methods for remedy and prevention. It's got hundreds of Chinese herbs and their uses, as well as dozens of herbal formulas. That's by Henry C. Liu. This right here is an older book, but it's still in use today. It is the PDR Physician's Desk Reference. This is a 1992 edition. I think we paid $1 for this at one of the thrift stores. And there's a lot of them out there. I found one the other day. It was a 1989, and they wanted $25 for it. Didn't need it because I already had this and a few others. But we got Raising Chickens. That's a Stories Guide. All the Stories Guide books are good. We got The Backyard Homestead. That's a real good book. Farm Anatomy.
This one is kind of a fun book, more so than a learning book. But for people like us that haven't really done a lot of farming, I mean, a big thing for me was to look for how or where the parts of all the animals were. That was a big thing, along with trying to recognize tracks and everything. And they have all of that in there. How to tie knots. I look parts of a goat, parts of beef animals, all kinds of ducks and geese. It's not everything you need to know, but it's a little bit about everything you need to know.
It's a good start on it.
So it was a nice, fun book.
Then we got a week-by-week vegetable gardener. We got the Backyard Homestead again, like I said. Home Canning Cookbook. I think we paid, what, $0.25 or 50 cents for that. The Ball Blue Book, we got 2 of those, paid 25 cents, I think, 25 cents each. And then over here, something that's pretty neat. This is the Boy Scout Handbook. If you're not a Boy Scout or never have been, there's a lot of good information in those. I picked that up. I had one in the past but couldn't find it, so I picked another one up. It's got all kinds of stuff in there. Cooking and tracking and survival and stuff like that. And this is actually this is a Webelow handbook, but it's still on the Boy Scout handbook theme. Teaches you some of the basics, you know. So how to build a small survival shelter, things like that, plants, poisonous snakes, so forth. Then this over here is something that I bought, Pocket Guide to Animal Tracking, Tracks. It's a really neat book, got all kinds of pictures, the location you would find these type of animals in, and so forth. Then over here we got the medical dictionary, Dorland's Pocket Medical Dictionary. That is something really useful. Then below that, this is something that I carry. I'm a paramedic, as you guys can probably see by the name there. And this is my Alabama State Protocols book. And what this is medications, what they're used for, and then in the front of it, it's how to treat hypertensive emergencies, how to treat head trauma, you know, just all our protocols on how to handle things like cardiac arrest. Yes, some of it is more for the paramedic, but it's something that you can use every day, especially for the basic first aid. And then we got Eyewitness Companions, Herbal Remedies.
And this is one of the best books. It has great pictures. It tells you anything and everything you need to know, part of the herb to use, even some recipes and the dosages.
And this is something, I think I found that one, didn't you? Didn't I, or did you?
I don't know, but we found this at a local
bookstore,
a secondhand bookstore, and we've met with some other preppers at meetings around the state, and everybody said this book was the best herb book to get John Lust. I haven't found an herb that wasn't in here. I mean, stuff I've never heard of before in my life, and I'm 43 years old, and I've gardened pretty much since I was 3. So, unfortunately, this book was from a smoker, so it's hard to use because it's really strong. But
okay, now we're going to kind of get out of the medical books and so forth, and get into some of my generalized reading that I do. Of course, you can never get away from the zombie survival guide. That's just a fun book. Has some interesting things in there either way, whether you want to think about zombies or just survival. World War Z, that again is zombie survival. But Patriots, one of the best books there is to read. Survivors by James Wesley Rawls. That's his newest book. 1 Second After, that is probably one of my favorite books right there. It's about an EMP. William R. Forstchen. He even had a foreword by Newt Gingrich. Just a great book. If you haven't read it, please put that on your list of books to read. 1 Second After. The Shadow Factory by James Bamford. The ultra secret NSA from 9/11 to eavesdropping on America. Richard A. Clarke, Your Government Failed You. That was a pretty interesting book. It's not the best. The James Wesley Rawls, I really like him. Founder of survivalblog.com. How to Survive the End of the World as We Know It. Tactics, Techniques, and Technologies for Uncertain Times. And this one right here is The Fourth Reich. Rise of the Fourth Reich. That is a very odd book to read. Very interesting. Makes you stop and think on a lot of things. But it will make you think either way. And then I've got one book I'm going to save for last, but this right over here is just kind of, and gives you an idea of the few of the books we got. We got all kinds of shrubs, and here's a couple of books that I found. The Nursing Care of Infants and Children. That right there is a great book in the obstetric nursing. It's how to take care of course, ladies in pregnancy and after the birth and so forth. Then there's another PDR we got, Mosby's Drug Guide. That is a really good book. Just
again, another 25-cent find.
Yeah, another 25-cent find.
You'd be surprised what people give out at yard sales. I mean, that's a free book for a quarter.
Family Practice, World Almanac. This right here is another one. Pocket Guide, Basic Skills and Procedures. This is for IV therapy and so forth for nursing mostly. Insertion and placement of IVs. Just a great book if you're wanting to learn. Campsite Cooking, of course, all of the what is that? The Mother Earth News.
That's their special handbooks, but of course we got all our magazines up there on the top shelf.
Yeah, up there's all the magazines. This right here is some more good reading. I didn't realize you had these in here. American Red Cross, Community First Aid and Safety. Another one of those. CPR for the Professional Rescuer. You could this is all American Red Cross stuff there. Again, food remedies, alternative cures, just stuff that if you don't have access to a doctor, some of this stuff you can try yourself. Then tons and tons and tons of farming, garden books, and so forth. And like I said, most of this was bought used, secondhand, flea markets, thrift stores, yard sales even.
Or mothers giving to us.
Yeah, or friends and mothers giving to us as they find out what we're doing. So,
and then of course these are all our books that, things we found off the internet that we've just made our own books. We made a binder that's how to make cheese, how to make bread, how to take care of,
chickens and all types of poultry.
Just basic gardening skills as far in a little bit of everything. So again, all those binders, I think we got them at a yard sale.
This right here is a real interesting one. Compact Cabins. Shows you how to build small homes, 1,000 square feet or less. Got a lot of ideas for what we're going to try to build when we finally do buy some property. And again, those binders up there she was talking about, like she said, we got those at a yard sale. I think it was, what, $2 for a box of like 20 of them?
Yeah, I mean, they're only like 1 inch or ½ inch, but
they're
still,
1-inch binders.
They did great.
Okay, the last book I'm going to show you is this one here. It's Indian Sign Language. I thought that was a really interesting thing if you're wanting to be able to learn a language that nobody else would know other than you and the person that or people that learn it with you would be the Indian Sign Language, and that you'd be able to communicate and nobody would know what you're saying. So just a little tip there. Another idea is to learn Morse code. You can do Morse code with lights, with tapping, with clicks, anything you can think of. So Morse code is another great one. And you don't have to do it as a ham radio operator anymore. It's not mandatory to learn it, but it is an interesting thing to know. Anyway, that's some of our books. Again, this is in a video response to, I think it's the Prepper site and his video trying to win a Kindle or one of the books that he was offering. Bama Medic and Kelly out.